Okay, guys, so this is a big exception to hearsay, Rule 8033. It's colloquially known as the state of mind exception, but the full rule, and we'll get into it more in depth, obviously, is the then existing mental, emotional, or physical condition. If a statement pertains to one of those things, then it's admissible as an exception to hearsay. Let's break down exactly what each of these words mean. And by these words, I mean in the rule itself, not defining mental, emotional, physical condition. A statement of the declarant's then existing state of mind, such as motive, intent, or plan. Let's stop there. Those are admissible as exceptions to hearsay. And that's the most common one, which is why it's called the state of mind exception. Motive, something like, let's say I committed a robbery and I'm sitting here talking to my random friend who ends up testifying against me, and I say, boy, I could really rob that bank right now because I need to go buy more Twinkies. That statement is admissible because it's a motive. I'm stating my motive for doing something. And people tend not to lie when talking about their motivations for doing something. At least that's what the law believes. Another is intent. So if something is offered to show, like, I want to shoot you, Sydney, actually, could be said to be a statement of intent. I mean, obviously there's issues of not hearsay to the party opponent that take precedent, but and that also goes into plan. I hope you can see how motive, intent, and plan are all very slight variations of the same thing. Plan can be really extrapolated in particular because making plans, like, let's go to the movies, it also includes under plan. And it should, because those type of statements tend to be very reliable. You don't just lie to people to tell them to meet places. It's not typical. But it kind of differentiates itself from intent and motive in that way. So that's motive, intent, or plan, statements to those effects. And these are just a few examples of state of mind. They are not the exhaustive list of ways in which someone could be talking about their state of mind. Other ways, though, kind of go into the emotional, which we'll talk about next. So a statement of the declarant's then existing state of mind, or emotional, sensory, or physical condition. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling angry. My hands hurt. All statements that come in under this exception. So it's a very far-reaching exception that it applies not only to physical, but mental and emotional instances of self-evaluation as well. But this last half is very important, and this is where people tend to go with it. Just because it's a state of mind does not mean that it's a statement of belief or something. So like the statement, I think anything, does not matter, does not get in here because it's not a vehicle for getting in opinions. That's not what this is. It needs, because opinions, I think, I don't know. I think Matthew Covert is a brilliant individual. Can be said for a lot of reasons besides the truth of the statement or my actual belief that Matthew Covert is a brilliant individual. Sorry, Matt. So that's why statements of memory or belief are not included in this exception. Let's just read what it says. Those type of statements, then existing mental, emotional, or physical conditions, are admissible as exceptions, but not including a statement of memory or belief to prove the fact remembered or believed unless it relates to the validity or terms of the declarant's will. So if, and that little bit about declarant's will can get covered more in Rule 804. But as it stands, I believe this doesn't get under state of mind exception. That's Rule 8033. Use it aggressively, but be wary of that clause about memory or belief.